Hello, how are you all doing? Today's recipe is from Indian cuisine and it's one of those very delicious Indian recipes. It consists of chicken breasts, cut into cubes like this. Added to it are the beautiful Indian spices that truly enhance its flavor. First, I have a container of yogurt with the juice of a large lemon added, a tablespoon of fresh crushed garlic, and the spices to be used are half a teaspoon of curry and half a teaspoon of ground ginger, but of course, it's preferable to use fresh ginger in the recipe, so we'll use a tablespoon of grated fresh ginger, a full teaspoon of turmeric, a tablespoon of garam masala spices, which can be found in any large hypermarket, and half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a heaping teaspoon of dried coriander, and the last thing I have is half a teaspoon of ground cumin. Now I'll add the spices. At this stage, I haven't added any salt, and if you want to add more spices, at this stage, feel free to increase the amount a bit. But I settled for just one big spoon because it's a bit spicy. Here I have 2 chicken breasts that I have pounded like this, and I mix all the ingredients together as you can see. You can also leave it in the marinade overnight or even just for 4 hours, and then proceed as usual. In a pan on the stove, I will add 5 tablespoons of oil. As soon as the oil starts to heat up, I will add the chicken in this way. Of course, I don't stir it at all. As soon as it gets a sear, I turn it to the other side because I don't want the chicken to release its juices. In restaurants, they usually grill it at this stage over charcoal or put it in the oven to roast well until it reaches a brown color. Here, I am not making it brown. I am keeping it a bit light in color. And those pieces were ready, so I took them out and put them on a side plate. In the same pan, I added about 2 tablespoons of oil. I also added 2 large onions cut into cubes like this. I sauteed the onions until they soften, then I add a heaping teaspoon of fresh crushed garlic and stir. I also add the same spices I used at the beginning, half a teaspoon of each, but I replace the ground cumin with half a teaspoon of whole cumin seeds. I then saute the ingredients together, as you can see. I also add a tablespoon of tomato paste and stir. Then I add 2 large tomatoes, chopped into cubes, and saute the ingredients until they soften. At this stage, I add 1½ cups of boiling water and stir the ingredients together. I cover it and let it simmer for just 10 minutes. By this time it has thickened, so I blend all the ingredients together until the texture becomes smooth and creamy like this. I then take this entire mixture and pass it through a strainer, straining it very well. At this point the mixture has reached the desired consistency. I put it back on the heat, and as soon as it starts to boil, I add the chicken in this manner. At this stage, I add a heaping teaspoon of salt. But of course, the amount of salt can be adjusted to taste or according to the amount of chicken you are using. I will cover it and let it simmer for just 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I will add a cube of butter. Once the butter melts like this, I will add half a cup of cooking cream and stir the ingredients together. For just 5 minutes. Finally, I add some finely chopped fresh cilantro leaves and fenugreek leaves as a garnish at the end. Honestly, they give the recipe a really nice flavor. And of course, if you have fresh fenugreek leaves, add them because they taste really good and are essential in the recipe. They serve it in restaurants in a clay pot like this, and they also serve it with basmati rice or even bread. It tastes absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend you try it. I hope you liked today's recipe. Try it out and let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, I'll be sure to respond. Please share and like the video so everyone can benefit. We will be making many more recipes together, so stay tuned.